What is going on, guys? This is Xiangjian, and this is it, man. The tier 1 deck that is going to come out in Burst of Destiny. I think October 22nd. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's around that time. This deck is just ridiculously good. If you haven't watched my combo video, please go check it out as soon as possible. It was the most recent uploaded video I think I've made, and yeah, this deck really is super consistent, super powerful. Can play a lot of going second cards as well that are also going first, like Vishuda, which is like an extender, but when you're going second, it also bounces back a card, which is just Happy Land City. And yeah, I just love this deck, man. It has a really cool toolbox. Synchro monsters are just awesome. I can finally play Baxia. It's one of my favorite synchro monsters in the game, but no deck could make it outside of like Xiangjian and Chudraco. Chudraco, how? Well, you have an Ignis Heater Majesty Maiden, you go normal summon a hand trap like Ash, and then you make Baxia, you shuffle back one card your opponent controls, and then you can go set True King's Return or Apocalypse, destroy it, and then revive back at Ash, and then if you can summon another Ignis or whatever, well, you can make another Baxia, shuffle back another card your opponent controls, and then make a rank 8. That is a really cool play, by the way. I used to do this a lot, and also revive back Ghost Ogre with Baxia, which is kind of cool, but yeah. Before we start into this video, friendly reminder to like and subscribe. Really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these, and I swear to God, it really does. But yeah, let's jump into it. So we're playing one Xiangjian, Swordmaster of the Illusory Iris. This card is a Xiangjian, so you can actually search it and reveal it with Moyi. The synergy with this card is just unreal. If you have Valor or Imperm, this becomes an actual legitimate hand trap, so I really love it. It's just fantastic. We're playing 3 Ash, and then obviously the hand traps that synergize the most with Swordmaster of the Bewitching Iris, which isn't really its name anymore, unfortunately, but still. And yeah, 10 hand traps, 9 real hand traps that are always hand traps at all time, and then 1 question mark hand trap. And yeah, we're playing 2 Vishuda, 2 Adara, 2 Ashuna, and 2 Shatana. Now, a lot of people are not doing 2-2-2-2 ratios, I think, because I actually played some games on EDO Pro, and I've seen people play some other 10E monsters, like outside of these ones, and I was kind of confused because these just look like they are the best going first and second, and some other 10Es were kind of not really good. I just didn't really like what they were achieving for the deck, so I think this is probably the best lineup, or at least one of the best lineups. And yeah, if you have like another other idea, please let me know, but I think this actually worked out really well. So Vishuda can bounce back a card your opponent controls, Adara can recycle back a banished worm from your banished to your hand. Oh my god. Ashuna special summons a 10E from the deck, and then Shatana is actually a really interesting card. So when one of your vanilla monsters, non-effect monsters, gets destroyed by battle or by card effect, including your own card effect, relevant because you can actually trigger it by destroying your own monster with sudden shift, you can banish Shatana in order to revive back the monster that was destroyed, and then you can destroy a monster your opponent controls. And I said destroy a monster your opponent controls, I never said target a monster your opponent controls, and if you do, destroy it. So it doesn't target. Really nice. And Shatana, that's the reason why it's good going first, is because you can actually combo off with sudden shift. Absolutely fantastic. Then, of course, we're playing Vessel of the Dragon Cycle. I mean, yeah, it's a good card, but if you draw multiples, it becomes kind of whack. But the thing is, it's such a nice card that I kind of considered, honestly, maybe upping up to like 2. If I play 3, it becomes like cloggy because you really want to draw like a bunch of different cards. But yeah, I do agree that this card is so incredibly good that if hand traps stop becoming like a necessity, I'm probably going to try to play maybe more copies of this. And Upstart Goblin, because I really want to have as much consistency as possible. Now for the good Xiangjian, I'm actually playing 3 of every single one of them. So I'm actually going to read you out the effect very fast. Long Yuan, basically it's a level 6. Not a single one of them are tuners, by the way. The tuners are always the tokens that are summoned off of these 3 monsters, and basically you can pitch a Xiangjian or Weir monster, well, Xiangjian card or Weir monster from your hand to the grave and special summon it. Actually, I apologize, it's not from hand to the grave, it's just this card. So if you're under D-Shifter, Macro, D-Fisher and stuff like that, you can still use this. And the reason why it's actually relevant is because Flunderies is going to be very popular in October, and people do play D-Shifter and stuff like that in that deck. So if you don't really have to rely on the graveyard, you should be fine. But yeah, this card is just absolutely fantastic. You can still make some nice interruptions with literally just this and any discard that fits the requirement. You can make the level 10 synchro, and if your opponent plays something like Flunderies, he always banishes, so you can easily just banish 2 cards on your opponent's turn, or you can make Baroness, obviously, for like a smooth negate. And yeah, pretty nice. And then we have Te-A, which is essentially a card that allows you to banish a Xiangjian card from your grave or a rare monster from your grave. It's always kind of like the same thing, Xiangjian card or rare monster, and then summon a token, and when it's used as a synchro material, you get to foolish your deck for a Xiangjian card or rare monster. This would inflict 1200 damage, and then when this is used as synchro material, you draw 1 card. However, the summoning condition, the condition to summon a token is a bit different. It's on normal or specialed, whereas this is just while it's on the field, you can banish, and then it's like a hard once per turn. But this is actually like on normal or specialed. You can reveal a Xiangjian card or a rare monster, and then summon your token, and yeah, blah blah blah. You can only summon synchro monsters from the extra deck as long as you control tokens, by the way. So don't try to go like Needle Fiber plays for access code and stuff, it won't work. The only Needle Fiber plays are here because of Adara and the hand traps. But yeah, 2 Pot of Desires, of course, the consistency is absolutely needed. 3 of the Search card, 3 of the Monster Reborn. This is also a good card to discard, so it's fine to play 3. And then 3 Sudden Shift. You could argue that maybe 2 or maybe 1 is enough, but I actually like banishing this because it summons a level 4 tuner token, so I kind of like it a lot. There's another trap card, Xiangjian, but I actually don't like it. And Trap Trick could have been interesting in this deck because you get the full value. When it's banished, you summon a token, and then you also get the actual trap. But Trap Trick with only like 6 traps, well, 2 different traps, is just not enough. It's just gonna start breaking or just being redundant and weird. And yeah, for the extra deck, we're playing Geomathmech Final Sigma, level 12, unaffected by card effects, so sometimes in very simplified game state, this might actually be really annoying to deal with. Blood Rose Dragon, this is interesting. When it's synchro summoned, or rather, should I say, if it's synchro summoned, doesn't miss timing, it's going to allow you to banish every card from both graveyards, and it has another kind of Stardust Dragon-esque effect. Then, of course, the Xiangjian Grand Duke. I already explained the effect in literally every single one of my Xiangjian videos, so I'm not really going to explain it again. Baroness, you should know this card by now. Dragite, same thing. Omega, same thing. This card is even better with cards like Desires and all the effects of the Tinies, which always make you banish, so you just get back infinite resources. And when you're scared of Nibiru, this is like probably the best level 8 synchro that you can make, because if you get Nibiru, you just chain Omega. You make them lose potentially the Nibiru, so you don't even lose your board, or at least the Nibiru resolves, but your opponent loses another card, and the Omega just comes back next turn, so it's not too bad. The level 8 synchro that searches on summon, this card is just an absolute necessity, so playing it at 2 definitely makes sense. Baxia with Yazi. Now, Yazi is an interesting one. You might be wondering, how are you making level 7 synchros? It's kind of weird because all of your monsters are always like 6+4, or 4+4, 4+4, 7+1, or 7+1 again. So how are you making 7? Well, when the spell cards get banished, you can either increase or decrease the level of one of your Xiangjian, I think, or just Wyrm. Yeah, Xiangjian or Were monster you control by 1. So this is how you can go from level 8 synchro to level 7 synchro, and of course with Yazi you can destroy it, summon back the Te-A from the deck, and then banish the Yazi, and then summon the token, and then make the level 8 or Baxia, and keep clearing even more cards your opponent controls. I keep saying this again and again, but the Yangzing monsters, synchro monsters, are probably my favorite ones in the entire game. And I also love Dengalong, but this is clearly not coming back. It's way too powerful, and even if you're not using the effect to search, the foolishing effect of Dengalong is already ridiculously good, with of course the effect to float when it leaves the field. Not even destroyed, just leaves the field. You can link summon with it and still triggers, which is absolutely stupid. But anyways, Formula Synchron, which is summonable off of Needle Fiber. 2+8 equals 10, so you can make Baroness with these big boys during your opponent's turn. So Blood Rose is actually an interruption during your opponent's turn, with Double Monk of the Tenyi and Shaman of the Tenyi. Now, this card honestly never comes up for me, but there are some ways to kind of use it. I'm just not a big fan. But being able to revive back any of your Were monsters from the grave is absolutely amazing. So you can start using your Xiangjian Grand Duke when you're kind of not really doing too much, and you just have to discard like a generic card, and it only needs 2 Were monsters, and literally everything is a Wyrm, which is pretty Happy Land City. And I don't really have that much of an idea section, I'm really sorry, but I guess Droll Logbird, Ghost Bell, this guy, this card, Dragon Cycle of Illusions, I don't like it. Same thing with this weird Xiangjian, it's not really good. these cards are not generators of tokens, so they're just not needed. Apart from that, White Howling is actually a pretty interesting one. If you're playing against a spell-heavy deck, it's very easy to end your turn with a water monster like Dragite or Lyri Shatana, Moye if you get interrupted, Needle Fiber. Yeah, I mean, the level 10, it's just, there's so many options, so White Howling is kind of like an interesting card. And yeah, back removal, blah blah blah, you already know the trail, but yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. If you guys were able to enjoy and learn a thing or two, please make sure you let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these, and I will see you next time. Peace.